Motion carried. I'll make a motion to adjourn city D.
Second.
Okay, motion second, and then this is roll call.
Do you want a roll call?
No,
Don't need it.
then no, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Melvin, I think you're.
Maryland's last meeting,
Last one.
after how many years?
50.
50 years
50
in the
years.
courthouse. 50 years taking care of the board.
It's been a great pleasure.
Yeah. And 4 years of me taking care of you.
But
right?
yes, correct.
Yeah, right.
Correct.
Well, the courthouse is gonna miss your presence and
Thank you.
your
I will too.
historical perspective and your experience and,
Just call.
okay,
You need
yeah,
some,
right.
yeah.
Well, still got your number. You
Yeah,
haven't,
just call.
you haven't changed your cell phone number?
No.
Okay. But, yeah, you'll still be a resource, so.
Thank you.
Thanks for all your service and we
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Been my pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure to work with all of you.
Well, we swear in now, and then we'll start with. Gonna start with Tim.
Let me end with me.
All right, since he's standing there, Judge Kilnosky will do the swearing in. This is Tim Wickman.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Tim Wickman,
I, Tim Wickman,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of County Supervisor
discharge all the duties of the office of County Supervisor
in Potawatomi County
in Potawatomi County
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great.
You wanna go, Andy?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, that's better. I, Andrew Brown,
I, Andrew Brown,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of Sheriff
discharge all the duties of the office of Sheriff
in Potawatomi County
in Potawatomi County
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Brian Shea is our other supervisor.
All right, Mr. Shea. And please raise your right hand. I, Brian Shea,
I, Brian Shea,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my
to
ability,
the best of my abilities,
discharge all the duties
discharge all the duties
of the office of County Supervisor
of the office of the County Supervisors
in Potawatomi County
in Potawatomi County
as now or hereafter required by law.
as now or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can I swear at anybody else? Melvin. All right. I, Melvin
I,
Hauser,
Melvin Hauser,
do solemnly
do
swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United
that I will
States
support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State
and
of
the
Iowa,
Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and
and that I
impartially,
will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my
to the
ability,
best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of Auditor
discharge all the duties of the office of auditor
in Potawatomi County
in Potawatomi County,
as now or hereafter required by
as now
law.
or hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Thank
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure. Good luck. Happy New Year.
Thanks.
Congratulations
Thanks,
to all.
Judge.
Yes.
Great pleasure working with you. You bet. All right, take care. Thank you, dear. Thank you. That's wonderful. Good to see you. Okay, Mr. Shea, we're gonna exchange. Gonna miss you, honey. Lots of happiness to you.
No, we expect you to do just as good a job.
Oh.
Yeah,
gonna be a big shoes to fill.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Oh, you're fine. Congratulations.
You want some coffee?
Thank you. Thank you.
Do we need any more pictures?
You're still Maryland though, on your nameplate. You better reach up and slide your nameplate out.
Mr. Chairman, sign.
Yes, I'm surprised it's not here yet, it is ordered.
Okay, I'll make a, pull that off. Pull one up. I'm gonna,
Yeah, I'll get mixed up.
I'd like to nominate Scott Belt for,
Well, wait a minute, you have to appoint me as temporary chair first.
oh, we did? Oh, we did.
You did? Well, if you did, I missed it.
All right, I'll make a motion to appoint Melvin Hauser temporary chair of the Board of Supervisors.
Motion, second.
That's a roll call, apparently. Supervisors, Groby.
Yes.
Wickman.
Aye.
Schultz.
Aye.
Belt.
Aye.
And Shea.
Aye.
I'll always leave you to last so you'll know what's going on. So,
Okay.
and you'll know how to vote.
I'm okay.
All right, now, are there any nominations for the office of chairman for
I'll nominate
2021?
Scott Belt, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second that.
Wait a minute.
I'll make a motion nomination cease.
Nominated by,
Second.
oh, there are no more motions. Nominations have ceased. There being no further nominations, the board shall vote as follows. Shea votes for,
Yes. Aye.
well, for which person?
Belt.
Okay.
It's listed out, so you say.
Groby for,
Yes.
all right. Schultz,
For Scott Belt.
Belt for,
Scott Belt.
all right, and Wickman.
Scott Bell.
Okay, now the nominations are now in order for the office of chairperson pro tem.
Well, yeah, you started this mess. Whatever the comfort level is, I mean,
I don't care if you get, whoever wants to do it, sure.
You know, it's a,
we're a team, we're a team.
It's a-
Do we
yes.
nominate,
What's that?
are we nominating
Yeah.
pro tem?
Well, they're trying to figure out
Tim.
Okay, I'll second it.
who'd we nominate?
Tim,
Okay. Are there any other nominations?
Move nomination cease.
Okay, there being no further nominations, we'll proceed to vote as follows. Shea for
Wickman,
Groby? Schultz? Belt? And Wickman.
Well, this here.
Okay, Jim Wickman is our chairman pro tem, Scott Belt is our chairman.
well done.
I will turn the meeting over to Chairman Belt.
The year's not over.
Huh?
His year's not over. As we all know, this is, this is the 50-yard line of, that's kind of crazy, our budget, we're halfway through the budget and, we'll find one of those. Move that for right now, get that out of your way. Sorry about that. Okay.
I've only ever been on that side.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We are going to, okay, these may, just for information purposes, and since Brian's new, we may ask just for a little qualification and detail on these resolutions. The first one we have is John Raspman, County Engineer, discussion or decision to approve resolution number 0621, authorizing the county engineer to close secondary roads for constructions and/or maintenance. So I will take a motion.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Okay, second.
Well, since it's a resolution, should be a roll call, I believe.
Right.
All right.
But I think,
Do you want John to make a quick comment?
well, that's what I was gonna have, and if Brian had any questions, I mean.
Get me up to speed.
This, closing and maintenance on resolutions, I guess, that it is, are we allowed to amend these, or are these in the code? What are our options? I'm speaking, I guess, for Brian at this point, but
Y'all need to give me a heads up when you're gonna ask questions like that.
okay.
Can you amend them? I'm guessing yes.
Okay.
A lot of these, I believe, are more or less required by,
Statute.
right, either by statute or just by practice. It makes it much more practical for the engineer to do these.
So I'm required to do a resolution if I close a road longer than 48 hours on the farm to market system. So instead of coming in every time to do that, we just do one at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
That's kind of the two different ways of handling that.
What are you doing on this road?
This is kind of a generic, this will let me do it all year long.
This is.
Okay.
He will probably let you know if he's doing it, just so if you get phone calls, you'll know.
Is that a new, do we need to redo that every year?
Yes.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
a resolution that we do every year.
All right.
That's why I just, kind of a refresher.
Yeah, the comment John made was farm to market. This is actually for all of our other roads.
It's all of them, yeah.
Okay, right, okay, so do we have a motion in a second?
Yeah, we do. Any other discussion?
Hey,
There'll be more talking, I'm sure, but I mean, just so that you're,
that's okay. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Roll call?
Pardon?
You want to do a roll call?
Yeah.
Okay, Chairman Bell,
Aye.
Supervisors Groby, Wickman,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Shay.
Aye.
Okay, the second item, a motion by and a second by to approve and authorize board to sign board resolution number 07-2021 entitled Resolution to Authorize the County Engineer to Certify Completion Papers and Make Final Acceptance of Contract Work on the Farm to Market and Federal Aid System. Said resolution set out as follows.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Thank you. So, motion by Schultz, second by Wickman. John, you want to give a little bit of an overview on these?
That one authorizes me to make the progress payments, so I'll do those through the DOT. Then the final payment I still bring in for board approval on the contract costs.
The final payment on the project?
Yes.
Federal aid system is that farm to market?
Pretty much all the funds I'm spending from other sources all those are coming to you. So some of those are state and federal, but, well, everything's state now because they did a swap.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, so. But on the federal aid system, they're still coming to you.
Pardon?
On the federal aid system, the roads anyway, the final vouchers are coming to you for approval, or to the
Right.
board.
Is there a federal aid system still or not?
Yeah, the system's still there, it's just the state doesn't give us federal money.
Right,
now, so,
okay, because we did the swap.
yeah,
What's happening, 3 years ago?
yeah.
Any discussion on that?
I'm good.
You feel good with what farm to market
Yes,
is?
I'm-
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we have them out there crashing, so.
Mr. Auditor?
Okay, Chairman Schultz. Chairman
Supervisor, yes.
Belt.
Aye.
Supervisors Groby,
Yes.
Wickman,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Shay.
Aye.
Okay, motion and a second to approve and authorize board to sign board resolution 08-2021 entitled Resolution to authorize the county engineer to issue and sign special permits for the movement of vehicles of excessive size, weight upon Potawatomi County secondary roads. Said resolution is set out as follows.
I'll make
And
that
I-
motion, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Make a motion to approve resolution 08-2021.
Okay. Get a
I'll second.
Okay, Shay. Okay, and those resolutions, I believe, were in your packet. You probably maybe didn't get a packet. So he's got, just so everybody knows, and I'll get you to sign these. So he's got himself, and then Jacob Furrow, is that how you pronounce Jacob's last name?
Yep.
And then Lisa Nelson, and then Christina Trintos,
Triantos, yep.
as able to sign. So with those other three being engineers, is there something that allows her to sign with your authority then or something?
Oh, usually that's the case when the three of us are out of the office and she's there, she'll call around and we'll do it over the phone and she'll end up signing those. So
Okay, but
she doesn't work on the day-to-day stuff, it's more or less track somebody down to get a permit done.
So she's
Right.
gotta get your approval before she can sign?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
still does. The other two do not.
Right, that's what I was, okay.
But is there any document or anything that tracks that, or is it just a verbal, you call and say?
Oh,
or she
we
calls
have-
you?
We have permit systems, so we're keeping the permits on
But if she
file.
signs something and you say it's okay for her to sign that, how are you keeping track of that, or is that just a conversation?
It'd probably be an email or a text or a phone call, so.
Okay.
It'd be, yeah, it'd be best to I don't know.
Email would probably be the easiest,
I don't know how often that happens, but to make sure,
It's like once a year sort of thing.
Okay.
there. It's
Okay.
very often.
make sure it's documented. Okay, any other discussion? Okay. Roll
Sure.
call.
Chairman Belt,
Aye.
it's gonna take a while. Supervisors Groby,
Aye.
Wickman,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
and Shay.
Aye.
Okay, a motion and a second to adopt Robert's Rules of Orders as written rules of parliamentary procedures for transaction of business and meetings except when in conflict with the Iowa Code.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Second, Schultz, any discussion?
No, I do think it'd be helpful at some point, I just wanna pitch this to everyone that and I'm pointing to the attorney's office, it'd be helpful if we could have just kind of a once over the world, maybe during a study session of Robert's Rules. I mean, we generally know, because we've been here long enough, but it'd be helpful, I think, if we just kind of, just get a brush up, training on it sometime, so sometime in the next couple of weeks, I think would be helpful, but kind of putting that on the attorney's office. But anyway, I don't know
Right.
if you guys are okay with that. I just think
Yeah.
it might be good to, just so we can make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. And
Right, and I think they do have, also, maybe Christy Hirschberger might have it on the ISAC website on
sort of video or something.
something on the,
Yeah, we can
And there
simply,
may, I don't know if she's gonna do anything at NCO school or
they
not.
usually did, I don't know if they have, so there may be something out there that we can, kind of work through to help get through that. I mean, those people that have just a 3-member board, I just, that's just gotta be tough,
yeah.
Especially when one isn't there.
Well, in one county, the newly elected supervisor had a stroke. And one of the other supervisors was ill with something. They only had one supervisor for the day.
So then,
I mean, they weren't even able to zoom in,
so nothing happens,
I guess, not until somebody
you know?
has a miraculous recovery somehow.
Huh. Okay, the next one is establish a policy on board sessions. A motion, a second, to establish a policy that the board's regular session will be held on the following days and time. It shall be, what's that,
Prerogative of the
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, thank you. Prerogative of the chairman with board approval to cancel and add a meeting day.
So, I'm fine with 10 AM Tuesdays, it hasn't really been an issue for me. I don't know what you guys' work schedules are like, but
Mine's good for Tuesday, 10.
yeah, it's helpful, whatever we
Does that work
decide
for
is.
you?
Oh, yeah.
Gives everybody a little time in the morning.
Cause I could
And
either,
then any other
9 or
special
10
meeting
either way.
as required, you know, we'll make it the call of the.
Yeah, the board, it
Yeah, we
says,
can always-
it
This
shall
is
be the
official.
prerogative of the chairman with the board approval, so I mean, we're gonna all, you know, hopefully row the boat and make those decisions as a
Yeah, it's
group.
never been an issue.
Was that a
Yeah.
motion, Chairman Schultz, 10 o'clock
I
on
can do-
Tuesdays?
Yeah, I just,
Okay.
before I made that motion, but I wanna make sure everyone was okay with it.
Well,
If not, I'm okay with 9 too. We switched before and then we kept it at 10, so I just, doesn't matter to me.
That was a motion, I'll second that.
okay,
I got a motion.
and with the ability to, as we've learned with calling in and
Yeah.
the other technology, we can still hold a meeting and not maybe all be here physically. Okay, any other discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Resolution 01-2021, payment of county bills.
Second, I'll make that motion.
Okay,
Second.
so any discussion?
This is basically saying that we're gonna keep doing it the way we are with the approvals, right? The email that goes out with the, is that right, or am I?
Well,
So we're
this,
giving him the authorization to pay our bills.
that we're given, yes, the
We're still
auditor's office
And I just need 3 approvals from the board, and
Board
the
to-
bills get paid.
Okay.
to pay the issue the warrants and payment of claims.
Right.
And then for salaries and then transportation of persons transferred out of the county's expense to state institutions. And, I'm just summarizing these. And then the clerk of court certified bills for payment of grand jury. And then the last one is for the benefit for salaries of county employees. So any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye.
It's a
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Normally
sorry.
she.
Oh, yeah.
Chairman
I
Bell?
don't think it happens, normally she puts them in red.
Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisors Groby,
Aye.
Wickman,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
For the roll call.
Yeah, I don't think it
No.
Scott, I'll make a motion to authorize the board to sign resolution 02-2021, a resolution pertaining to the auditor destroying county vouchers and canceled county warrants which have been on file for more than 10 years.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any discussion?
No. Are you, it's all still digital, right? I mean, we'll always have it digital,
Yeah, since
not that it matters.
we got the Tyler system in 06, I think, so we have that. But yeah, it's just part of record retention code. That we can destroy them after, but the state auditor does like 2 years of paper, so we do keep 2 years of paper, but all the older ones are. And I think the main reason you have to keep them is for any lawsuits or complaints.
Any other discussion?
Is 10 years state code?
It's in the record retention manual.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's all.
Hearing none, all those, resolution, roll call?
Chairman Bell,
Aye.
Supervisors Groby,
Aye.
Wickman,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Shea.
Aye.
Okay, now resolution, number 03-2021, approving the deputy appointments. So I need a motion motion and a second to approve and authorize the board to sign resolution 03/2021, a resolution entitling resolution appointing deputies. Said resolution is set forth as follows.
So these are all the deputies within each, so it'd be like
Right.
your deputies, it'd be the recorders.
And,
So
yeah,
they
recorders, Lee's deputies, and,
They are John
I don't know if
Jakemeyer.
it includes Andy's deputies, chief deputy or not.
Yeah, it's John Jacob Myers with Chief Deputy with the Attorney's Office, Auditor's Office, Christy Everett, First Deputy, Linda Swoley, First Deputy Real Estate, Christy Hassey, Second Deputy Real Estate, Recorder Lynn Harrington, First Deputy, Sheriff Jeff Thulin, Chief Deputy, and then Treasurer Jamie Summers, First Deputy.
So with these names, I'm curious.
Deputy too in my office.
You do have a second,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Becky Kilpack,
Kilpack,
yeah. You missed her last year too.
Becky,
Rebecca Kilpack.
Yeah.
oh, you have it there?
No, I just know who it is.
Oh, no, okay, so Rebecca.
Are these deputies are their salaries based off of the elected persons? Is that true of the second deputy as well?
Correct.
Yeah.
But you can make a decision about what the percentage is.
The reason I'm even bringing this up is that just with our discussions we had with that, Baker Tilly and all that, I guess I just wanna make sure that was already accounted for in that study.
I don't think it was.
I don't think so, cause,
It's a
my
percentage.
deputies weren't involved in that.
Is that state code reviews?
Yes.
State code is officers can appoint their own deputies with board approval, and the first deputy is limited to 85% of the officer's salary. Second deputies are limited to 80%, but they don't necessarily have to have 85 and 80.
The only question I have is, Mr. Hauser, you have two people that work in real estate.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them need to be deputies.
Yeah, if I want to get
They're
into,
not here.
they're working. They're not here today, but they're getting their work done.
Janet, was there any discussion with Baker Tilly in regards to these deputies and?
No, deputies were pulled out of the Baker Tilly project at the very
Okay.
beginning. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't recall.
Yep.
The only thing just to kind of echo out Tim a little bit, and it, obviously we have perceptions, there's all those other things out there, but I just think that it's important that if you have a deputy, the role of a deputy is to be there when you're not, right? So I think it'd be helpful if that physical person, one of them, is here. So I don't know, I'm cautious to approve something if they're not, and I'm not, if there's ADA, stuff like that going on, get it, totally understand that, we should always support something like that, but I just think for the sake of having a deputy, the purpose of that person is to be there when you're not, so. I mean, I guess, is that kind of where you were going with this, or?
It is.
So, I mean, I'm fine with people, it doesn't bother me at all, I'm just more concerned about how that looks,
Appearance.
because if they're not here, they're not really being a deputy, so why am I proving their salary to be that way? And it's not saying they're not working, I'm just saying,
Part of the job.
Yes.
In my office, I won't allow, like if one of my deputies wants time off, the other one has to be there. So there always has to be one. Usually I'm there, but if I'm not, there's always one that I don't allow it to, one of them has to be there.
Okay, so the Rebecca one is a second?
Yes.
Okay, second deputy.
I'd just like to see that. It's not any one department. I mean, that to me goes all over. I mean, if you're not here, you obviously need to have someone here that's
I feel that that's important, that they.
But, same with the recorder and,
Right.
but, I mean, I'd be willing to make that motion to approve these, but I'm just saying that I would like to see that. And if they don't, then I'd probably move to remove that later. So.
I think we have the ability, if our discussion was earlier on and I don't want to make it a general statement on resolutions, but we can amend or rescind resolutions, can't we, as a board?
You would have to make the motion to approve the resolution and second that, but then before you vote on it, have a motion to amend the resolution, get a second and vote on the amendment, and then you vote on the resolution as amended.
Okay, but say if we want to amend this resolution in the future, can't we just bring it back and amend it or not?
Oh, once it's been passed,
Yeah,
I would have to look into that.
It'd be probably a new, I don't think you can amend it, I think it'd be a new resolution. It would
That's
supersede it.
what I'm thinking, is once it's passed, we
because
have to do a
we
new one.
rescinded resolutions before.
Yes.
And then just created a new resolution, I guess, is that
Yes.
an easier point of doing it?
I think,
That's probably a cleaner way to do it, rescind it entirely and then redo it.
We've amended a resolution before.
Yeah, but I think when I don't know how many years ago, we rescinded one, we didn't, and we didn't even renew one, we just rescinded the resolution that was,
At this point, why would we have to do that?
well, I think it's just,
no, we did it
I'm
on,
just looking for clarification.
God, it seemed like it was something, for some reason, it seems like it was something with animal control or something, but I can't remember what it was, but maybe I'm off. It might have been.
yeah, I remember it, I don't remember what the issue was too, because we had the same conversation, we're like, how do we do this?
Right,
But yeah, I think you can always
Maybe.
strike out a, resolution. But then, as far as amending, I think you amend it while you have it open, as you were saying, and then I think if we want to amend it later, we have to create a new one that supersedes it. But I could be a little off.
okay, well,
Again, Robert's rules.
you made a motion to,
I'll prove it,
Okay.
I'm just making my statement, for
Right,
discussion that
I understand,
my expectations, I guess, with what a deputy
You'd
really
like to
does.
see him here,
appreciate that, yeah, some physicalness.
okay?
I don't wanna beat it up either, but is Chrissy Everett here today? Is Linda Swoley here today?
No, neither is Christy Hassey. They're all working from home.
So like, you gotta be careful with, if there is an actual ADA accommodation or something that goes on, there's no argument, but I think if there's not, then I think at least one or the other should physically be here.
I'll address it, duly noted.
Okay, I need a second to that resolution.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call?
Hang on, did you guys amend the resolution?
No.
Well,
Okay,
do we
before
need
you do the
amended
roll
to
call.
add, Rebecca
Kilpack.
Kilpack?
Yes, you need to amend it to add her.
Can I get a friendly
I'll make the
amendment?
motion to,
Friendly amendment
yeah,
to add Rebecca Kolpak to the treasurer.
yes.
It's actually not a friendly amendment, it's
I
a separate.
make a motion to amend resolution number
Thank you.
Okay,
02-2021, or sorry, 03-2021, to reflect, the addition of Rebecca Kilpack as the second deputy in the treasurer's office.
And then you vote on the motion to amend.
Right.
Does the second concur?
Say it again.
do you concur with that?
Yeah, I
Okay,
do.
now we need to vote on the amendment,
I'll make,
Correct.
do I
okay?
need to make a motion to his amendment?
Now, is the vote on the amendment a roll call or just a voice vote?
Because you're just amending, I believe you can do that by voice vote, but then the final resolution is by roll call.
Yeah, so on the amendment of adding Rebecca Kilpack as second treasurer, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Hearing none, Rebecca's added. Now, on the resolution as amended, roll call.
Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisors Groby,
Yes.
Wickman,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
and Shea.
Aye.
So that resolution's gonna need to be retyped up and re-signed then?
Yes.
Okay.
Scott, I'll make a motion to approve and authorize the board to sign resolution number 04-2021, a resolution pertaining to the taxable value of the lengths of mileage of the several railroad, telegraph, telephone, and express companies in Potawatomi County.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
we don't know how much if that changed.
We have the total for the county in that resolution.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay.
What was it?
How much is that?
163
Million,
million,
443.
443.
It's, and then, was that in her stuff she sent us?
That would have came from,
Did Becky give us the new one?
that would have came from the state.
Came from the
Well,
state,
she hadn't got,
Yeah.
she said this morning that she just got it, I thought.
I
Is she
thought she
coming
got
in?
it several weeks ago, but
No, she said something this morning when she came in about utilities, right?
Yeah, she did.
So I told her that one
What-
sheet, it couldn't get printed out.
What is that taxed?
Those?
Yeah,
My understanding they're still at the, well, they're not really at the commercial rate. The state sets those rates. We really don't.
okay,
I mean, you can try to back into it, but it's not.
okay.
They cut a deal, two of them, I believe. I believe it was the railroad, and maybe the pipelines cut a deal when we changed that commercial rate and those rollbacks and stuff. Their lobbyists got in there. We lost some value a couple of years back on the utilities and railroads, if I remember right.
How often does that come up?
Those,
Yes,
every year we're gonna.
every year at the
Yeah.
first year. Okay,
Yeah, but we don't assess they take up their land and their use of whatever the miles of, and the state comes up with some formula and says, and since we're a larger county, you know, there's more railroad running through it, so, they come up with those figures and then tell us what they are.
okay.
Okay. No further discussion, roll call?
Chairman Belt,
Aye.
Supervisors Groby,
Aye.
Wickman,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
and Shay.
Aye,
Okay,
Scott, I'll make a motion to approve and authorize the board to sign resolution 05-2021, a resolution entitled Construction Evaluation Resolution. And that resolution is set out as follows. That has to do with,
hog
hog
confinement,
confinements.
it's not, well, it's all animal
Livestock.
confinement, but it wasn't, the resolution's not in here,
What's not?
no.
This one you manage?
Yeah, I came up here for discussion on it, so we could.
Right, we wanna just make sure that that it goes to the board, Matt. I mean, this is my opinion. It goes to the board before the DNR. I had a copy of the one Isaac sent us.
I'm looking at it right here on our board packet, so the resolution should be with those others.
It might
It's not.
got printed. What's the number? 05-2021?
right, yeah.
Yeah, that's it right there.
2021. Oh, yeah, here it is, I'm sorry. Oh, must have flipped it with this other one. Okay,
Again,
I
is that just a
apologize.
blanket?
Well, I'll let
Yeah.
Matt talk about it, but I'll just give a
Sure.
real
It's
brief
not a specific
summation.
spot, correct?
If we don't approve this, we have
No
no
say.
say in
Okay.
any confinement.
It goes to DNR and then,
They make the call.
right,
They don't even notify us.
So we got ourselves in, I mean, what no one's saying right now is that we got ourselves in a little trouble this last year. And, we had a poultry operation that was about to go in nearby a area that we wanted to have development, and ultimately it didn't happen, thankfully, but I think, this will, if nothing else, it'll give us a chance to say something about it before it goes up to DNR, and then, you know,
okay.
we can still say yes and approve it, and we know,
Mm-hmm.
unless we do an overlay district or something, but I
Are
don't
we
know.
open for discussion on it? Do you guys want me to?
Yeah,
go for it.
yeah, I want, Matt, because, you know, we found out later, or whatever, that development potentially out there with the, off of Pioneer Trail was within the limit, because of the way the Google property was annexed by the city. Was this not property close to being within the limit too?
No, this property still wasn't, within that 2 mile. So you're talking about the property that we're talking about, the one off of Pioneer Trail that they're looking at doing a housing development on, that meets within, just a portion of that meets within the 2 mile agreement with the city of Council Bluffs. This property is still southern, more southern than that one, and it does not meet within the 2 mile limit. It's outside of that area, but the importance of what this resolution is, this is something that Potawatomi County has adopted for a number of years. It allows, us to review what is called their master matrix evaluation, and that is for any confined feeding operation that meets the size requirements set underneath the Iowa DNR and state code. And the application comes down through, and a lot of times with the relationships that we have with the ag consultants in our area, because we deal with a lot of these, is they will come to our office first and present us with the application that they are gonna send to the state. We cannot act on that application until the Iowa DNR sends down their notification to the county auditor's office, and that comes over to us to review their application. Now, we've already preemptively started going through their evaluation that they have. In that evaluation, they have to reach a score of 50%, which is 440 points. Most of these operators, as they're going down through and filling out their master matrix application, will stop filling it out once they hit around 480, because they've met the points requirements. They feel like even if they inflate it a little bit on some of them, as we go through and discount them for it, they're still gonna be above that 440 that they need at the state level. Even though they meet those requirements, and we bring that before the Board of Supervisors to act on, the Board of Supervisors still has their choice to say whether or not they feel like that's a good fit for that area. So it can pass by master matrix standards. The Board of Supervisors has a choice on saying that, yes, we recommend approval of this to the state, or no, we don't feel like it fits in that area. And it still goes on to the state, and at the state level, they make their determination on whether or not they're gonna issue the permit. This resolution and us reviewing the master matrix application really just gives everyone a heads up of where a potential site is being looked at and what qualifications the state looks at, because the state will come down and do a site evaluation. Previous to what had happened last year, the state did not include us in those site evaluations. They would just come down and do their site evaluation on lead. Now, when they come down for a site evaluation, they do call us and ask us to meet them out there on the site, so we can check the distance between the next neighboring property, check the distance between waterways on where they're at. And as long as they've used a reputable ag consultant, normally all of those things are worked out before ahead of time. They know that they're gonna meet the requirements that the state has put in front of them. What has stopped a lot of them in the past in the Luss Hill side of our county is the alluvial soils. If they find alluvial soils in those areas, then they can't put it in that area, and by the time they do the cost measures, so they'll wind up moving it over. And that's why you do see a lot of our confined feeding operations kind of on the eastern side of our county. As that plant in Nebraska expands, I'm sure that we will have another time to where somebody tries to look closer to the western side of the county to place one of these confined feeding operations to help feed that factory. But as that comes through, you know, those are just the pieces that are laid in place for us. I mean, ag is kind of king in Iowa, and zoning rules don't apply. So all we have is this master matrix review to go through. And I wanted to pull some kind of things for the board to know as well, is that 89 of the 99 counties in Iowa do adopt this resolution to go through this different process.
Does this carry any weight with the DNR?
It did the last time. So this last year was the first time the Board of Supervisors ever sent up and said that we don't recommend approval of this in that site. And it did carry weight with the DNR. The DNR did call back, and they tried, and you know, to their you know, whatever you want to call it, they called down and tried to argue the facts. Like, well, how could you deny it when they met all the requirements of what the application set forth? And I told them, yeah, it met all the applications. It met by points that it should be allowed in that area, but by our growth patterns and what the city of Council Bluffs is looking at, what the county housing goes out as, I said that's right in the, you're gonna put a confined feeding operation right in the middle of where a bunch of new houses are gonna go. So we have utilities that we take into consideration. We were looking at a water line extension down in that area at that time. And that water line extension would have added more houses for us, and putting that confined feeding operation there would have either slowed that housing, or we knew that it would have caused problems in the future, because people will move out to the county and all of a sudden they say, well, it smells like, there's bad odor coming from that place. There's a lot of trucks running on this road. And that was another issue that we had with the site, was the number of trucks that were gonna be coming from the road. And that road was already not in the greatest shape as it was, and it was a bus route. And so we took those things into consideration, which are not on their application. And once they heard that, then they moved forward with it at their side, but then I think he ended up eventually withdrawing his application as it was, but.
I mean, you get pretty much the entire city of Mineola coming and saying no, because it was right there. Basically, it was like Pioneer Trail and 240th, that area, like coming off there.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
And part of the application is neighbor support. Did they go around to the neighbors and tell them about what they were thinking about doing? Introduce themselves, make sure that, that they knew each other. And that's what happens in a lot of these cases, is in the areas that they go up and nobody thinks twice about it, is because they know that farmer. They know the history of what that farmer has done, and how they treat their crops, animals, and everything else, and keep their properties clean, so they don't have any issues with it. This was somebody trying to get new into agriculture that didn't really have any experience behind it, so.
Mhm.
But the filling out of the matrix a little bit is kind of subjective.
Mhm.
So I just, want to make sure that the board is involved at whatever the earliest point possible. I guess that's my feeling about it. Not that I think any of the board members want to discourage any type of ag. I mean, ag is very important to us, Pot County and the state of Iowa, so.
Well, and that's part of that, the overlay too, like, we need to probably do some of that as well, right? Create overlay districts to kind of say, generally speaking, this is where we want housing to be, because that'll help, I think.
And that's, so with our future land use mapping that we have already, it helps back up your all's decision. It doesn't necessarily, the state won't take that into account when it comes to these applications.
Yeah.
What is the municipalities such as, Council Bluffs or Crescent or Neola or any of those, they don't pass a master matrix resolution for them. Are those already exempt from being within a mile of one of those communities, or not?
It is not on there as a setback distance to a town.
Okay. So the city of Council Bluffs could end up with one potentially just right outside of their, or
It's not-
within
Any of
their,
the communities could potentially, yes.
within their 2 mile limit even.
Yes.
Okay.
So the 2 mile limit doesn't,
Doesn't protect the towns from that.
no, it does not?
No.
Dave, are you the one that inspects? Is that your position?
It's kind of that.
No, we don't inspect them.
Commercial
Okay.
farm versus farming,
Well, I was kind of disappointed last year, 2 hog confinements got put up in eastern
That was a-
part of our county,
Great.
and I didn't know anything about it till it was well done. Is there any way we can be notified of these things?
The only way that we get notified of them is through this master matrix program. And we only get notified if they meet the requirements for a master matrix application. A lot of them, what they do is that they will, especially on the hog confinements, they will hold it one animal unit under what
Right.
requires them to have an
Exactly.
application. So then they can just construct them, at that. They can have 2499 instead of 2500, and that's what the majority of them will do.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
That's why those
disappointed.
2 out there probably were under, is it 2,500?
Yes, so they'll send in, they'll bring in they'll bring in a manure plan, but it'll just say 2499, no master matrix needed, and they just go with it.
So that's why they're so far apart. They
Mhm.
put 2 out there, and they're several miles apart.
Yes, it was Iowa Select, is it their hog houses? Iowa Select is a number of them out there kind of on that eastern side, and that's exactly what they'll do. They'll hold it just one animal unit under, so they don't have to do the master matrix permits.
And then they're treated as ag
So no building permits, no zoning, no setbacks.
But they are gonna be heavy users of the infrastructure.
Yeah, we had trouble with the road out there. They had trouble getting in and out. It was kind of a road that wasn't used too often. So,
Correct. Yeah, those are one of those ag uses that just kind of slip underneath the radar and we don't hear a lot about until those road issues pop up.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Matt.
Does
So-
any ordinances help with future housing?
The only thing that helps in those areas, and some counties have tried it, is you get the group of landowners to come together, and the landowners put deed restrictions down. It's not a widely accepted piece, but there is no zoning or land uses that we can put out there
Okay.
to stop any of those development pieces from happening. Iowa code is very specific on ag exemption and what that means. And so these will all qualify underneath of an ag exemption in which we don't have any.
The problem is the second and third order effects of doing that too, you know, so like, example would be Brant Farms off Pioneer Trail. Had they gone and put a deed restriction on that, said this can never be whatever, it never would have been able to be developed the way we want it to, so I caution that big time, you know, if we can, I think the biggest thing is, it's like the survival of the fittest, like, let's just get ahead of it, get ahead of the game, get our developers going, get them to do what they need to do, so we don't, because I don't want deed restrictions are pain in the neck. Because then you're stuck, you can't do anything with it.
Right.
I don't want to have to deal with that.
Okay. Okay, did I get a motion and a second?
We got a motion from Wickman, but I haven't got a second yet.
Okay, seconded by Schultz. Thank you, Matt. Are you gonna be around later or?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, okay, I'll try to catch up with you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say.
Chairman Schultz? No.
Aye.
Supervisors Groby. Wickman. Schultz.
Aye.
And Shea.
So I have a question on this next item.
Newspapers?
Yeah, so it's not that I don't
The
want
guy
these,
sent new letters out.
it's not that I don't like having these newspapers, I certainly feel like maybe we have to, but I do have some frustration with the fact that they only print at certain times, and so therefore we are kind of handcuffed to their timelines on things. And that's
Has to be
happened,
a weekly, doesn't it?
it happened twice to us last year, and I don't quite remember the issues, but we wanted to move forward with something, and we had to wait for the Journal Herald to.
They don't say what day.
It has to be published once a week, is that right?
Our requirements, like before our budget amendments and our budgets, they're 10 days before. The issue is, for example, we have to have everything to Avoca Journal Herald in Oakland the Thursday before the following Thursdays publish because of their time requirement. If I don't have it to them by Thursday the week before, so that makes us, instead of 10 days before, so 17 days.
Right.
And that's the last date, we can get it to them to get it in the following week. The nonpareil, I can put something there today and it'll be out tomorrow if we have to have it tomorrow.
Right.
So the issue is there's a code section, and because of the county our size, we're obligated to do 4 public newspapers. If there's 4 in circulation, we only have 3. So we
So
used
the
to have
code-
another one.
The code says you have to do, if there are 4, you have to do 4 of them, huh? I guess
By
I
our
didn't,
population size. I can go get the code section, but
no, I didn't realize
We used
that.
to have 6.
It's not that I don't want it to go in these papers, I just think I find it very odd and confusing to me that a private entity can restrict government from doing government work. Just,
it's their deadlines for print, and because they're
Well, that was-
small, yeah.
but they can do whatever they want, they could say it'd be a month if they want to, you know, and that's where I'm saying, I
But
wanna fight that one in the state.
Isn't it a requirement that the paper be published once a
Say
week?
publish once.
Minimum?
Right, but their requirement, to get it in next Thursday, I have to give it to them the Thursday before.
Monthly
If you wanna publish a budget in
newsletter
our
is not
paper,
in
you
the
have to do
code.
it by
No.
whatever.
It has to be a regular
Weekly
paper.
paper is, and there's only 3.
Oakland, and they have the same publisher, so.
Right.
Have we reached out to them and tried to talk to them a little bit?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, they don't,
It's their own part-time, you know, whatever hours they work, who their editor is, and then sizing it, and so,
I think by the end of this year, these two might become.
Well, he's trying to sell it, I think. I've heard.
if they cease to circulate, then our one is our one. But
Right.
if we have a
Right.
circulating newspaper, we are required to, our county size is up to 4, so.
yeah.
Do you know that the day each one of these is published or put out?
I wanna say, I used to know it Thursdays, I have it on
I
my
think
desk.
it used
or I
to be
could-
Thursdays, but now they come on Wednesday. So we
Yeah,
can
might
get
be.
ours on Wednesday.
They both?
Is that from the week before?
And technically,
Well,
he'll,
that's when we received the Oakland paper was on
Right.
Wednesday.
technically, his deadline used to be Friday mornings anyway, and then it just happened one month, a Friday was a holiday, and he took it off and didn't tell us, and it hadn't occurred to me. So the following Monday, when we all came back, we had to wait another week, we had to postpone everything, because he didn't get it by Friday morning, because he didn't go in Friday. So he said to be safe, send it on Thursday nights. Well, we typically try to.
Publications?
Or I'll tell him on Thursday, you know, hey, I'm going to have something for you tomorrow morning, will that still work? And he'll say yes. But now I have to actually try and be prepared to get it to him Thursday,
You got it for, if you only have 2, you have to have the 2.
What do they have to do, just size it?
I guess. I don't know.
Is there anything we can do to expedite that?
It's always the same. The things I send anyway are always the same, but that's,
Okay.
you know, that's, I think one of the things Justin was referring to happened to be something for Matt Wyatt, somebody else.
I put it off.
I don't mean to say it in a bad way, because I want there to be rural newspapers, we all do, but I think the reality is like, we need something to push out, I shouldn't have to wait to push that out, because then it causes us, I mean, timing could matter to us, and that's where I kind of am concerned about these being our newspapers, but
Well,
The
and
we don't have a
So-
choice right now.
I think they're having discussions, I think every year up in the State House with
Right.
using another form.
Well, yeah,
additional
trying
forms
to, use your website and Facebook to
Right.
publish your.
and such, because some of these newspapers continue to fall
Well, the
off.
reality is in this world we're in a digital world. Most
Yeah.
people don't have print paper anymore.
Paper.
They just get on the internet and they find what they
And
need
if,
to find out.
and if the schools don't publish and Carson, city of Carson doesn't publish and the county doesn't publish, they, that's probably half their revenue.
Right.
And we're not the only county with the same struggle.
Right.
When we run into crunches, I call the state and
Thank you.
Herald, Oakland, Boca Journal, Herald.
Daily Outcome.
I'll second that.
Go ahead.
Okay, sir.
Okay, any other discussion? Stay tuned. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay. Here we go, the holidays. We just made it through them. Now we're starting them again. New Year's Day 2021 is gone.
I'll make that motion, Scott, to approve the Potawatomi County Courthouse being closed on the following legal holidays for 2021 as per Code of Iowa, Section 33.1.
I'll second it.
Okay.
They would, you would need to read those or just?
Those,
Apparently Christmas is on a
They're
Saturday.
the ones that are, on the approval there, so no, you don't,
Okay.
you don't need to read them all. 3rd of December.
Yeah.
What?
Christmas on Saturday,
So do they close on Friday?
so we close Friday.
Okay. That has to do with employees.
And what is the 31st on, is that on a Saturday?
That will be.
31st would be a Friday too then.
31st is a Friday,
Okay, so January 1st is on
Saturday.
Saturday, observed on, okay, I see it here.
So give
Perfect.
me New Year's Eve off.
Observed December 24th, observed, okay. So this really should include, really,
What's the
my
4th
first
of
wish.
July? I know it's on a Sunday, but
Okay,
The actual day. Oh,
it's right on here.
they take a Monday off.
Yeah, it must be.
Okay.
Okay, so now moving along, discussion of decision to approve federal mileage rate for 2021, and it's still, must have went, did it go down?
What is the
Half a
mileage rate?
cent?
It went down.
To 47 cents now?
No, 56.
56,
Oh.
Was it 56.5?
just 56, I believe. Janet, did you
Down
look that up?
opinion, oh, must be
I can't
opinion.
real fast.
It says down a penny and a half from 2020.
I think it's 57 and
It
a
was
half.
57 and a half, wasn't that
Okay,
right?
so it's 56
Oh, 50, okay.
for starting the new year.
Yeah,
So what's it
yeah,
gonna
dropped
be?
by 1.5.
56 even,
Okay.
56 even.
so I get a motion and
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it. And I guess for discussion, Andrew, I'll give you, for like our claim banks that we do, I've created a digital version of that auto-populates that number into it so that you don't have to mess with, so if anyone wants to do visually, they can just type it in instead.
yeah, it's not, it's not on her.
Well, I did it for the whole year, so
Okay.
like
Oh,
right now, every time she was going and just deleting the month, like now, you'll have the whole package, and then you can just, when you open it, you just go down to the tab, the month you want, click on that tab, and it's already pre-generated, and then you put in your data. And then I also built a tracker on the front end of it, so you can see how many miles you claimed for the whole year, like all that. So I'll send all that, and
Okay.
everyone can have it. It's just for you, it's just for,
Right. I got
like
the
last
form
year, I
on
know how
the
many
top.
miles I put on my car for the county board, and it made me sick, but.
More than you think usually.
Yeah.
Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Discussion and a decision to appoint to the Southwest Iowa Regional Mental Health Disability and Services Board for 2021, that should be.
That's the one Maryland's.
Maryland was
Maryland,
serving on there. That meets on Mondays, usually in I want to say the first Monday of the month.
Well, they're meeting this afternoon. Suzanne sent out a thing this morning. I forwarded it to you guys. She sent out the financials and stuff for the 1 o'clock meeting this afternoon, which will be by Zoom.
So this must be, I don't know if this is their regular one. But it's usually I was thinking it was the first Monday of the month, and it's usually, maybe they're meeting by Zoom now. I was on there, 4 years ago or whatever it was. It's, you said, Suzanne sent it out? I don't see it.
I served on there for a while too.
Yeah, so I don't know, it's,
If I have it on mine, I'll check.
they meet at that, in the downtown kind of middle of Atlantic at the Iowa Western, when they're meeting, when they do have their meetings, because there's,
Right.
oh, shoot. Is there 9 counties in our region?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, it was 9.
You guys, does the mental health include like drug users and stuff? Is that in the mental health? I'm not versed on this. I'm just
So,
asking.
I think
Suzanne will explain it all to you someday.
yeah,
And then she'll re-explain it to you another day. And then the next year, she'll really explain it to you.
Right now, it's, what they're dealing with is everybody, and I want to say it's 18 and above. Because the children's is another thing they're gonna deal with, but it's not been funded yet. So I would say the answer to your question is, some portion of those individuals are dealt with if they fall into that income bucket that
Okay,
we're supposed to take care of.
okay.
You know, whether it's for rental or food assistance or
Want to do that one?
whatever.
Pardon?
You want to serve on that?
I could, yeah. I'm familiar with everybody. They don't mind.
I mean, it's,
do you need a motion to approve?
well, you wanna do it, Lynn?
Yes?
Okay.
So yeah, I'll make the motion to, let's say nominate but approve Lynn Grovey as his first representative.
I'll
Okay,
second that.
okay, do
We
we,
need a second representative too.
we got
So one
somebody
second.
else that wants to
Yep.
be the backup?
I'll be back.
Okay,
So,
wanna, okay,
I'll do that.
so I'm gonna amend my,
I'll learn about it.
I'll amend my motion to include, Mr. Shea as the, second
Second.
representative.
okay.
Well, I sent you all the stuff from Suzanne, so you might want to just go ahead and zoom in and kibitz.
Today,
Yeah, 1 o'clock today.
can you get me that info?
I can probably get you on.
I sent it to you
Get
this
you on
morning.
If you want.
Okay, on mine.
I sent it to the
My
Board of
iPad or-
Supervisors, I guess. Is he on the Board of Supervisors list?
I don't know.
List?
I'll
I don't
get you
know.
on here today, Brian.
Okay, sounds good, Scott. Thank you.
Andrew will get you added to the Board of Supervisors email chain.
Right, but I'll get you on there today, I mean, I
Would
can help
that be
you.
the IT
Is that the
guy
one he's getting
doing
on?
that?
Andrew has been added to the Board of Supervisors email chain, and Mr. Shea is not yet on there.
But I see it came, I got it here, so, but if he isn't able to attend, I mean, it's pretty important for them to do business. I think they might only meet quarterly. But I could be wrong. I will find out today if you wanna
Okay,
do that.
I'll learn it.
Then, if he is there, then he's the voting.
Correct.
And then,
I
okay,
understand.
and if he's not there, then you vote.
Right,
Okay,
we'll talk.
Okay.
okay. Any other did I get a second?
No, I think Shea.
Yes, Brian, second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Discussion and decision to appoint to the Fourth Judicial District Department of Correctional Service Board of Directors 2021.
Scott, you are our lead on that, weren't you?
I am,
I mean, just,
Do you want to stay on that, Scott?
I can, I mean, it's on Wednesdays, I believe,
And I think they meet quarterly, right?
They meet right down the street here.
yeah, at the RCF. Yeah, I think.
RCF,
Yeah, residential correction facilities, these buildings down on Ninth Avenue.
Ninth Avenue, okay.
Yeah,
I know where
Those
you're
buildings
talking
along Ninth.
yeah,
I know where you're at.
Who's the second on that, Scott, do you know?
I don't know.
I think Maryland, or it might have been me on there, but the problem, so the issue with it though is that they only allow one voter. So like even if let's just say hypothetically he couldn't go and I went, I can't vote in his place.
Oh,
So
no
it's
proxy
weird.
voting?
White, really?
Yeah, because that happened to us when I did go to the meeting and we couldn't. So it doesn't matter. I mean, I think it's still good to have a second person there to be in the know of what's going on, stuff like that, but just, and it doesn't necessarily matter because as long as they have quorum, they can still do business. It's just realize that if the primary can't be there, if the voting member can't be there, it's pointless.
You're out the vote.
You're out the vote, but you can at least, like I said, get the information.
Don't they usually meet at a restaurant?
No,
No, these
that's
guys meet
juvenile, that's juvenile detention.
Oh,
Well,
It's like on Eighth Ave, or
there's,
it's not right off Ninth there, but yeah.
probably the next meeting, we're gonna have to have some other ones. We didn't get.
Discussion on board appointments, yeah, I think.
Yeah, because we gotta get that sheet, there should be a sheet we should be able to locate that shows board assignments that have primary and secondary or whatever.
I'll just stay on there, I
You
guess.
can stay on there, thank you.
Yeah, so I'll make the motion as, to approve the appointment of Scott as our first representative and myself as the second representative.
Okay,
So I'll need a second.
Doesn't need a
I'll second
second.
that.
Okay. Got a first from Schultz and a second from Wickman, thank you. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, the motion passes. Discussion and/or decision on appointment of representatives to the IGHCP board for 2021.
So this one we had, I believe, Scott and Jana as our representatives for that.
What is the IGH?
It's your insurance kind of.
And they usually
Health
meet,
insurance.
they usually just meet once a year, potentially twice a year.
That's in Des Moines, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah, or will be in,
so were you the first on that? And then
I think Scott was the first because he got to vote. I didn't get to vote at that last meeting, Scott did. So I think he's the first and
Does
I,
anyone have heartburn if Scott continues to do that, or does anyone?
we usually
Or do you
meet
wanna do
in,
it still?
oh, I don't care, we usually meet in, oh shoot, what's that? Clive, is it Clive?
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm good with it. If you're okay with it, Scott?
yeah. fine,
So
it's
I'll-
just a-
I'll make the motion
Oh,
to approve the appointment of Scott Bell as first representative and Jenna Lemrick as second representative for the IGHCP
I'll
board.
second that.
I'll second that.
Okay, Schultz, second by Shay. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Hearing none, motion passes. Okay, discussion and or decision on appointment of MAPPA representatives for 2021.
So my recommendation here would be that the chairman be the first representative for that, for MAPPA. And it helps facilitate things a lot more. But we don't have to, you know, with COVID and everything, you know, my attendance at those meetings were pretty spotty just because I'm not going to, you know, the bus barn where they do their meetings, but I think it'd be important that we keep our chairman there because it's gonna help facilitate our agendas too.
Are they been meeting or they been Zoom?
So they did Zooms and now they're starting to do live, and I just haven't
Okay.
done the lives because I don't, like I said, it's at the bus place terminal area and I don't really,
Is it just once a month still?
twice, so you have you'll have your financial committee or whatever it is. and
Well,
then
there's
you
a
have-
finance, you gotta point to the finance committee, and then usually it's the same person that goes to
Yeah.
the
They try to
board.
They've been pretty good about separating them, so it's usually like the third week of the month. And you'll have 2 meetings that week. One's at like one's at 10 in the morning and I think the other one's at 1 PM or something like that. But, you know, there just hasn't been a lot going on with COVID, so it's kind of hard to. It was really important though when, I kind of want to talk why this is important real quick because we had that potential road where Mills County was going to do Bungie Ave and get that repaved, and then coming off the interstate down there on 370, they were going to kind of change things a little bit so that truck traffic would get off 189th Street and trucks coming off of 192nd. It just make it safer because I mean DOT came in, did a study, and they're like totally blown away by how dangerous that intersection is. And I personally, because I work there at Sire, I've seen accidents right there on 189th. This was on, everyone's like, we're good to go. We've talked about it a few times, and I don't really know if it was a certain individual who dropped the ball or something, but basically that fund, the request never went to the state, and by the time it did, the state says we're out of money, and the entire project is done, and Mills County can't afford to redo Bungie Avenue, and I'll tell you that Bungie is probably the worst road in this area in the county that cars have to drive on. I mean, I would gladly say that. So I think it's important that we have people there on our behalf. But like I said, it's usually a Thursday at 1 o'clock, something like that.
I will certainly try to, I guess, attend, if that's what you choose.
Yeah, and then I don't know if someone wants to, they
If Scott can't make it, I'll go.
okay, yep. So I'll make the motion to approve the appointment of Scott Bell as first representative and Tim Wickman as second representative for MAPPA for 2021. Now, this one's a little different. You can vote by proxy. So if Scott can't go, Tim could vote.
Okay, good.
The mayor of Omaha does it almost every meeting, so.
Who's, the second in that? Second. Schultz made the motion.
Oh, I'll second it.
Shay, thank you. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Okay. Discussion and or decision on monthly reimbursement amount for elected officials' mobile cell usage for 2021.
Janet, what's that percentage?
Today it's 40%. And so we'd like it changed to a flat dollar amount, not a percentage.
I would concur with that, with,
What's that
so,
number look like, generally speaking, do you know?
That's the problem, it's all over the place.
well, what, if we were, I guess the flat dollar, I would say, and this is just my own opinion, but what, if I were rather to have the county give me a phone, what is that number? Know what I'm saying?
Right, if the county pays for the phone,
I've got several of my staff, I've got phones they were free phones, about $50 a month.
that's what I was thinking too. I was gonna pull up my budget. I think it's about $50 a month if the county pays for your phone.
That's what, I think is probably as fair as anything, to be honest with you, but that's just my opinion.
That's for
That's
the
what
work,
we
just
did.
a work phone.
Yeah, that's about what we do at Sire.
Can I ask, do you guys carry a county phone?
Well,
I do not.
I don't want to.
I don't either.
Sucks carrying two phones, to be fair.
I agree with that, but, I mean, I use mine for my business and personal too, so I just.
Right, that's why they're only gonna give you part of what
Right,
it is.
Yes, but texts and emails that you use your phone for might be subject to open records.
Yeah.
So if you're using your personal phone, you need to keep in mind that your personal phone might be searched for texts or emails or something like that if we receive an open records request regarding it.
Correct.
But it has to be, I mean, it's pointed. It has to be
It
related
is
to county
pointed,
business.
yes.
So, I mean, you text your wife something, that's not gonna be part of it.
Right.
But the same thing is on a county phone too.
The county phone, yes, would be the same, but you're not likely to have your personal stuff on it or your business
Right.
stuff.
You would hope not.
Now, the one thing is if you use your personal phone and you get your email, which I recommend we go this route anyway, but if you get email to your personal phone, the county puts an application on your phone. So like, say you forgot your PIN, they can actually reset your PIN, they can reach your email, make sure so that I have that now and it's super helpful to have that on my phone versus carrying two phones or whatever. But like, what I was gonna tell you is at Sire, I think we're at $26 per pay period is what we do for reimbursement on a cell phone. So I think $50 a month is very fair.
who is the carrier?
Verizon.
AT&T, or yeah, I'm sorry, Verizon.
Verizon.
And they're coming out with new plans that are cheaper all the time.
Well, not with government.
Well, we're on a government group
Yeah.
plan.
Okay,
So
all right,
they
I
come
know nothing
negotiate
about
it. They'll come and say, this is what we will do for you for this year or 2 years or whatever.
that. Okay,
I think they're doing a statewide plan now, or maybe that was for other purchases.
Yeah, I'm not
I
sure.
think 50 is fair. I mean, it's about,
It's whatever you guys decide. I mean, I am not going to get a county phone, and I'm not gonna get email on my phone either. That's just my personal opinion. I just don't want that.
yeah, you know, I mean, that's totally up to you anyway.
I have no need to get into my phone to look at anything, so. That's just me.
I think it
The
makes it a
chances
lot
of that happening
cleaner.
are probably slim and
No.
none to begin with. It's just that I just don't wanna open my personal stuff up to anybody.
I agree.
In fairness, if this were to happen, you would go to the attorney's office and we'd have them handle everything from there. So that way, it's another layer. I mean, it's totally up to you what you want to do. I mean, we do the iPads so you can get your email that way too.
I just think it's a
That's the
lot
only way to do
cleaner,
Yeah.
cleaner for everybody and when it's a set amount because
I agree.
I mean, if I have to get another phone,
Now, if we do a set amount, does that need to be, claim every month, or can it just be part of your pay?
You could still submit it like you normally do, but so every time you submit mileage, if you haven't submitted for 3 months and want to do 3 months of phone, just keep it within the same fiscal. Because the board will budget accordingly.
Well, that's my point, like, if you just did it with your pay, you wouldn't have to.
Well, you wouldn't
Well,
wanna do it through payroll, it's gonna affect your ICRIS contribution, which is,
Why just be considered a
It's
fringe
a
benefit?
reimbursement and not
it should be a
salary.
reimbursement.
Yes,
From
you're able to
AP.
do it without tax with
It's
doing
cleaner
it
for
through
the
the,
auditor, I would think, if
Yeah.
it's a separate
if it's a
check.
reimbursement.
Whatever, I mean,
If it's called a stipend, then it's going through payroll, but to be reimbursed, you'll get $50 through AP.
I mean, in reality, and I'm just telling you because I know this, I do it at Sire, but there's a line item that you listed as a type of special pay or whatever, and the auditor would not be confused by that at all. But it's fine. If you want to do it that way, we'll do it that way. I mean,
well, the government accounting is a little different, I'm sure, but,
well, the SEC still regulates it for
right, but I mean.
places.
I mean, I
They
could
don't-
look at it that way
we
too
still
and find
pay-
out what payroll
we
needs to
still
do for
pay
pay
them.
code for it.
Right. So,
So we'll keep doing it on the claim banks.
Well, you gotta turn your
we
mileage
make
in
a
anyway.
motion to,
But I guess that's where my question is that you just list it as $50 instead of listing your cell phone bill, because before you had to provide your cell phone bill to
You
get the
still have to at
percentage.
least provide that you are paying for a cell phone, so a cover sheet. We don't need minutes, but we still need some kind of let me check with state auditor to make sure they don't require that.
So that's my point, if we do this as payroll, you don't have to provide that, it's just a flat rate, you pay that out as I don't know. I would ask, if you don't mind,
I'll ask.
well, let's do this,
Set the amount at
and then we
50,
can change it, yeah. So you're gonna make a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve it, set it at reimbursement of $50 for the
Are you
official.
saying up to 50, Justin?
No, flat fee, $50.
Okay, what if Scott's bill is 45?
Then
Scott makes,
Scott makes $5.
It wouldn't be, it'd be 50.
You made that motion?
I mean, most cell phones, even if you have a plan, you're in the 70s anyway.
Right.
And that's just basically
With the
your out.
package and everything. You can't get it below 50, I don't think.
No, I mean, if you broke it down and looked at it as though like you're one entity within your plan, but even then, that's not.
No, it's 25, right, for the basic plan, then it's another $20 for the all,
Fees and.
well, then those are on top
Talk,
of that,
text,
so that's 45
data,
already.
and all that's
Yeah.
there. I think 50's fair.
We need a second on that. We're setting the cell phone usage at $50.
So I made a motion, is there a second from someone?
so move.
Sorry.
I'll second.
First, second, I mean.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, like sign, hearing none, motion passes. Okay,
Before
before we
we,
adjourn,
yeah, Scott, I would like to,
yeah,
just make a couple of comments if I can.
yeah, I was gonna see if Becky had some stuff too, so go ahead.
You know, we've decided to hire Andrew as our executive secretary for the board.
Yep.
I would like for you to consider setting a closed hearing for Thursday to meet with him as a board and kind of give him direction and expectation of his position.
Okay.
And if everybody's available on Thursday, I know Andrew is.
I'm not. Wait, yes, I am. Wednesday's 6, yeah, I'm available.
What time?
It's up to you guys. We can do it Wednesday too. It doesn't really matter.
No, I can't do Wednesday, I can do
Okay,
Thursday though.
all right, let's go Thursday at 10. Janet, you in?
I'm in.
Okay.
What are we doing?
We're gonna meet with Andrew, Thursday, 10. How do we post that?
Liz and Andrew will take care of that. It'll be posted like it's a regular meeting.
Right. But is it open session then?
What's
It'll
that?
be closed session.
Initiation, bring your paddles.
With holes in them.
Yeah.
So it's,
I'm not in on that.
Yes. I
it's
heard
a,
nothing.
it's a closed session for, personnel growth or something?
I think it'll be coded probably as far as like performance appraisals. We've coded it similar in the past, but that's how, because we're discussing what the expectations are for Andrew in advance of a 6-month performance appraisal.
Okay.
And,
Sorry, that's what you were asking as to how it will be posted, right?
Right.
Not who will do it, yeah.
Performance expectations.
and then Scott, as you consider moving forward with our agendas, I would like for you to keep in mind our budget study sessions
Yeah,
and closed session on Baker Tilly.
yep.
And, that's it for now.
Well, I think just,
And those can be done whenever you decide you want to do them.
well, I think we put,
We could probably do the closed session on Baker Tilly Thursday as well, if you want to do that.
Well, she needed time, right?
I'm about half done meeting with department heads.
Okay.
so we can do that next Tuesday maybe.
That would be great. Thursday, we could review, if you, since you're already getting together, we could review in closed session some items related to negotiation. If you would, I had that for Tuesday the 12th, we could move that to Thursday if you wanted to, it's whatever the board would like.
That's fine with me.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think, another hour?
Yeah, at the most, it should go pretty quickly.
Okay.
So yeah, now for that, okay.
That would be with, bargaining units, you met with all of them?
Workers.
You met with all of them? or
I've
not?
met with department heads in regards to what we want to present, and that's what I'm gonna present to you.
Okay, and then, thanks, Tim. We've, budget-wise, we've met with, are you guys setting up the schedule, the auditor, who's setting up the
That's our
budget?
next question.
That's you.
No,
You're the
I,
chairman.
I understand, but,
With your direction,
no, yeah, with
those
my,
that,
with my
those,
assistant.
we did it kind of voluntary as they were ready
Well,
to this point,
So-
but now we need to maybe push them to
Right.
a schedule.
well, so that I'm, up to speed, so we've done DHS and treasurer, right?
GIS and IT,
Well,
conservation.
Then conservation, GIS and ITs and that, well, then WIDA. And that's it, is that it?
So far.
Okay, so I wanna make sure that, and maybe he has some of them, maybe he doesn't, but the worksheets, the budget worksheets, Brian probably needs to make sure he's got all of those.
Okay.
I think,
We handed out GIS, IT, and conservation. You were here that day.
Yes,
So
I
you
was.
might have been missing,
I do have those,
you have them.
yes.
Okay, you have them all, okay.
you've got every one.
Not
of them.
DHS or.
Not
treasurer, I don't
DHS
think.
and
Now,
treasurer,
see,
okay.
no, Lee, she was here that day, yeah, I got hers too.
And then DHS would have been Matt, well, who was that? Mr. Blank.
Matt,
Matt Mattson, okay.
Yeah.
I started to say it and I'm like, wait, that's
You know,
all
I
right.
think I got that too, don't I?
Yeah.
I think I was here that
Yeah.
day, you handed me one of them.
Okay, well, just wanna make sure that everybody's got
Okay.
those.
I do wanna, at some point before we go launch our budget too, I'd like to ask, we just have a meeting to basically go over our budget.
Yeah,
Like
A
spend
study
some real
session?
time, well, I mean, I also wanna get a whiteboard.
there is one,
I know, I wanna put
one in
it
the
up,
hallway?
cause I think we need to,
yeah, I
I
agree.
really wanna draft this out.
I think we could probably end up setting it up on, if not mounting it to the wall at this point, and just setting it up on, either a table over there and leaning against the wall, and I agree.
Yeah, cause I
Put it
just,
up there.
I think we need to dumb it down for all of us to the point where it's like revenue in, revenue out, or I mean, revenue in, expenditures, and then just,
Right. And what those, fund balances are looking like.
yeah.
Which we won't have fund balance projections until all the budgets are input to us and we don't have them all, but I'll take that as my cue if that's all right. This is, I wasn't sure if Scott, you meant this didn't print out really well. This is the state valuation report that lists all of the authorities.
When it came across on the computer or on the screen, it's way out. I couldn't get it done.
You want one, Andrew?
Oh, it does carry over to page 2.
And then this is, Tim and I talked Tim, you're just gonna be so happy. It's even better than what you and I discussed because of utility replacement,
So,
right in the middle.
so the utility that we just approved, what was the growth from, it should show right here, don't it?
I gotta put my eyes on.
This what you sent out there?
Yeah, this is new.
2.8.
So I just did on the top left, the current property and utility tax revenue on our levying funds and what the utility replacement plus property tax brought in for the dollar amounts. Then as a draft for 21-22, with the new valuation, but the same levy rates on general basic, general sup and rural, that is the new utility replacement property tax revenue. And right there in the middle where the boxes that the grids are actually filled in. So in general basic, our new revenue from valuation is $1,288,468. General supplemental, $1,159,685. And on the rural with the same levy rate, $336,728. And then that grid on the bottom, that's that same grid I put in that email, just showing the valuation increases.
So we're just shy of 2.8 million as a whole of new valuation.
Yeah, and another,
Are you talking about revenue, Justin?
Yeah.
Revenue or, you said
Even
evaluation.
I'm gonna interrupt here.
It's a
You
true
guys,
statement, but it's not.
oh, this
No,
is
we're
not
not
on
on
the
the
agenda.
agenda.
Never mind.
What's
We
that?
can't talk
this is
about
not on the
it.
agenda.
It's not on the
I don't have a
agenda.
problem with you guys receiving information, but please don't discuss it.
Okay.
So we need to get the rest of the budget people in here, that.
Yeah.
that's-
We'll need all of those numbers.
Does that have to be put on the agenda to schedule that?
Yeah, you'll schedule budget sessions.
Pardon?
You'll
Study
have to
sessions.
schedule the study sessions.
Right, but I mean, to schedule them, do we have to put that on the agenda?
Yeah.
No, but I mean,
It's posted when you guys do study sessions, those are posted.
no, I understand that, but I didn't, how did somebody contacted treasurer and these
Oh,
guys are.
they got asked to put on the agenda. They voluntarily had their budgets ready and we asked all of the departments.
We being you guys,
Yes.
because did you ask them? Okay.
Actually, when Dustin and I spoke, I asked him first how he wanted to handle it first, and you and I spoke that if they could just be on regular meetings when they were ready, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
So we sent out all of their information to let them know that here's your Excel spreadsheets, they have to fill in their budgets, get them back to us, we have to put them into the system, and when they're ready, we get on the agenda, and so we requested to be put on the agenda so they could have their budget study session.
Well, we need to get them,
Now we need to push them to a schedule, so that's what I need to know. Do you want the regular meetings, me to say, hey, I need more people next week and the following
I
week?
think the first
or-
time, we just need to get, they're halfway through their budget. I think the first time, we just need to get them,
We need the little red number on the right that says how much more their budget's gonna be next year, so we can tally that up. Because I
Yeah,
know
we need
so
to
we need to
touch
get them in here
all of them.
sooner than later.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're gonna have them reoccur.
If you want them
If
to.
we need to change them.
Well, yeah, because,
I don't think you have to necessarily bring every one of them back, but the ones that, there will be, like, just an example, IT will be coming back.
Well,
And then
I'm guessing roads is probably
Roads,
coming
yeah.
back and
Yep.
some.
Yes.
sheriffs will come back, jail will come back, I mean, they'll be.
So
We'd
when we
just
need
like to know, do you want Tuesday all day, like a lunch break and then some time slots in next Tuesday afternoon? Do you want the following?
That's fine with me.
Yeah, if we can get them all in,
And we will reach out to all the departments you haven't seen, and then if we can't fit everybody on Tuesday, do you want Wednesday or Thursday next week? Do you want some this Thursday if we can get somebody ready?
no, probably not this Thursday.
No,
Tuesday.
See if we can get them on the Tuesday.
Is she saying if they can't all
If they
fit?
can't all fit, or
Right.
the sheriff can't be here Tuesday or whatever, give me 2 days next week, if that would be okay.
I think the most important ones to get on right away are roads, jail, sheriff.
911.
Those are the big
Well, I think,
expenses.
yeah, but I think we have, I don't know, do you guys agree? I think we have this, I don't want to say try to give them this whole month, but I think as long as we get it done in January,
We've got all January, correct?
Sooner
Well,
the better,
that-
because we still have to do that, now that the state added that nice pre-levy, max levy requirement, we have, I think with the rural papers, by the second week of February, we're usually telling you we have to know, because we have to know for the max levy unless we, like
So
we
we need
did.
those dates.
I haven't plugged them into this year's calendar, but I will.
And the 19th of our regular scheduled meetings, we should be able to knock out the rest of them.
Rest of them, yeah.
Yeah,
So then that way by the 26th, we can have our, like, come to Jesus with a budget, and then we can figure out which ones we wanna bring back.
And if you wanna bring any back, maybe that will be a time we do it a second day of the week or
We
something.
know on the 19th, correct? We'll be close.
You'll be pretty damn
But-
close by then.
Sorry.
But we don't have to, still April 1st, right?
We've been March, ain't it?
March 31st.
March
But
31st.
the other max levy one has to be
Yeah.
done 2 weeks before that.
No, but that's what I'm saying, March 31st, April 1st, but,
We're just gonna have to, we'll end up getting to
Sign those resolutions.
yeah, no.
So 12th and the 19th, we'll try and force all budgets.
Yeah,
That
if we
work?
could, yeah, cause I'll have to take PTO on those days, so.
Suzanne's will be easy, the recorders will be easy, the auditors should be relatively easy.
Roads is always hard, isn't it?
Veterans is usually easy.
Not necessarily.
HR will be easy.
Never had any money.
We
Never had
Labor
enough.
is usually easy.
keep as much money away from him as we can.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Thank you,
So
I
do we
didn't mean to
need
hijack, but
A
thank
vote
you.
on this
Okay,
meeting next
thank you.
Thursday?
Nope,
Okay.
they'll just set it up.
Okay.
This Thursday?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be meeting at 10.
Okay.
Can I be here, should I make you?
Make the motion to adjourn then.
Thursday?
Well, yes. A second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
You
We're
said it
adjourned.
last year during that.
We need to sign these resolutions.
negotiations, yeah.
Yes.
Everybody sign
Yeah.
there, okay.
You all have to